As Yasuoka climbs out of the car, her gaze turns nostalgic as she looks around. It's been a long time. About 20 years now, back 2 generations of my family hands. You've known them a long time then. It hasn't been that long. I had a falling out with Murasame, the second last had, and cut ties with them. They didn't even invite me to Murasame's funeral. The last had, Masamune and Saya were kids the last time I saw them. Imagine my surprise when Saya contacted me a month ago. Wait a second. First it was Murasame, then it was Masamune. And the current head is Saya Kujo, right? There have been 3 heads in 20 years. That's right. Yasuoka grimaces. The family is known for their short lives. Accidents or heart attacks, very few have lived full lives. Gossips say their family is cursed. So Saya Kujo didn't escape the fate either. It's probably just a coincidence, but there's something about this mansion that tells me I shouldn't be so sure. If it really is a curse, what's causing it? Could it be divine wrath? Huh, Miss I. You've been staring this whole time. Something the matter?
Well, there's something. Mr. Ichigo? Does the Kujo family keep animals out in their yard?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, then the black rabbit is odd.
That rabbit's back again? But what is it doing here? Where did it go?
I think it was headed for the building. It had something in its mouth.
What was it?
I don't know. It's too dark and it was far away.
You know that rabbit, Mr. Ichigo? Kind of. I tell them about the black rabbit I've seen on my investigations. Mary said that it has some sort of spirit residing in it. And now it's suddenly here? What could that mean, I wonder? All at once my heart starts pounding. I have a bad feeling about this. Like something terrible is about to happen. I find myself bolting to the entrance hall. Everything looks the same as usual here. Did the rabbit get inside the mansion? I quickly scanned the room for it. Mary isn't sitting on the sofa.
Mr. Ichigo? Over there, in the corner.
I turn in the direction I is pointing.
What's going on?
I's voice has an audible shake in it. How the hell should I know? I have to force the words out of my mouth. My voice shakes like hers. Yasuoka is still silent. Mary lies on the ground, tragically broken. Her beautiful face is smashed to pieces. Next to her lies the rabbit. Its head is twisted and naturally fresh blood stains the floor. Hey, Mary. I call out to her, daring to hope. But I only get silence in response. Mary's dead. Though I don't know if you say that for a doll. After that, I and Yasuoka helped me pick up Mary's remains, as well as the rabbits. We work in complete silence, no one daring to speak a word. Mary is gone. I'll have to face spirits and the mark without her help from now on. Terror and dread threaten to consume me. Will I even be able to hunt down spirits like I've been doing? What the hell happened here? Did some sort of spirit do this? We know Kuja Mansion isn't necessarily safe from spirit attacks. In fact, Sayakujo was killed by Hanahiko. And why did the rabbit come here? The last time I saw it was at H Shrine. Did it travel all the way here after that? And for what purpose? Mr. Ichiko, a moment please. I found this while cleaning up. Do you have any idea what is it? She hands me a key ring with a single key in it. The tag attached to it says Master Key. It's the Master Key to the mansion. But what's it doing here? Miss I did say the rabbit had something in its mouth earlier. You could have picked up this key ring and carried it. Are you saying the rabbit had the Master Key? It's only a guess. It's also quite possible that Mary had it herself. Mary said she didn't know where it was. The truth is shrouded in darkness.
We can use that key to open up any room in the mansion, right? Is there a place you want to get into?
As a matter of fact, there is. There's one place I've been unable to check. The locked room in the southwest corner of the second floor. The room layout looks no different from that of the other guest rooms.
What are those tools at the desk? They look pretty strange.
That frame over there interests me. I'd like to see the photos inside. There are 2 places of interest. Which one should I check first? On the desk is a board lined with tools. There are a variety of sharp chisels and long tools that look like spatulas all in a row. Next to them are bottles filled with paints and a stack of art books. What exactly were they making? The desk drawers are full of tools as well, and no documents or reports showing the mark like I had hoped. I picks up a chisel and studied its handle.
This thing,
MK is engraved on it. Sayakuju would be SK, so Saya's father was Murasame Kuju, and her older brother, the head of before her, was Masamune Kuju. Either one would be MK. Yasuoka tilts her head in thought. I heard the Kuju family ancestors were tasked with making Buddha statues. I suppose either of them could have been influenced by that. That's about all we'll learn from this desk. I'll check the other spot next. The picture frame contains several photos. Marionettes, wax figures, Japanese dolls. They're all photos of dolls. And one of them is a photo of Mary's bare frame. It looks like she was still being put together. So if the tools on the desk are used to make dolls, then was Mary created here in the mansion? There's a pattern on Mary's right arm. Isn't that the mark? But I never saw anything like that on her arm. Plus, this one is a different color from the one Asmark bearers have. A black mark. Ours may be red, but somehow this feels even more ominous. After examining the desk and the frame, we search the rest of the room as well. But we come up with nothing more.
Oh, that's too bad. I was expecting an amazing secret.
We didn't learn anything more about spirits or the mark here.
The only thing left is that diary we found in the shelter.
We just have to place all our bets on that. We return to the entrance hall. I pull the red notebook out of the bag I left on the floor. The flour and tallow smell assaults my nose. I feel like my olfactory senses are shriveling. What a vulgar stench. I recognize this from when we filmed on Keimiamachi North Road. It was only a brief whiff of it, so I thought I'd imagine the smell. But perhaps that's when I received... Iswaka scowls at the notebook. If she's right, then this notebook could be connected to the spirit somehow. Inside is the contents of a woman's diary. It almost seems like it was soaked in a pool of perfume. Stains and discolorations make most of the pages unreadable, but the last page seems clean enough. The date is from half a month ago. As I await the fated day, I recall my day as a teacher. The children called me Miss Zoo. Zoo, the keeper of the animals, probably because I kept so many laboratory animals in the science lab. I got to be surrounded by my beloved animals, my cute little snakes. It was so much more fulfilling than my current boring research. But because of that foolish principal and the fire, the school was shut down. My paradise was stolen from me. I need to take back my paradise. The great Asura has bestowed upon me the wisdom I need to do that. Tomorrow I will die. By the great Asura's abundant mercy, I will be reborn as Miss Zoo, so I may rebuild my paradise again. It is all the great Asura has said. Oh, great Asura. Asura, 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 Asura. Asura, 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 Asura. The rest of the page is filled with Asura. Did she lose her sanity while writing it? Traces of kiss marks cover the names. That, combined with the choking perfume, the heavy weight of loss is overwhelming. The dark passions in his notebook, thoroughly disgusting. I'd love to burn it to ash immediately.
So this Miss Zoo who wrote this, could she be the woman from the rumors?
If she worked in a lab, that would explain the white robe.
But I wonder which school she was talking about. She said it was her paradise. Do you have any ideas?
Yes, I agree. It's the only abandoned school in this area that hasn't been torn down. It may be the paradise she wrote of. If that if what the diary says is true, then the woman died after she wrote it. This great Asura would have guided her transformation into Miss Zu. I can't believe a human would choose to become a spirit of their own free will. Is that really possible? She seemed fairly confident that she would be reborn, and the notebook being in the shelter might serve as supporting evidence. Perhaps she meant it as a farewell to her life as a human. How sentimental.
Miss Sue. So, is she the one that gave Madame Yasuoka an eye or marks?
That's where we found the diary, so the spirits must know the place. It would make sense that it comes and goes from there then, for whatever reason. Looks like we know where we must go next. Time to go to H Elementary. The tragedy at Kujo Mansion. We came back to the mansion and to a shocking scene. Mary is cruelly smashed to pieces and the black rabbit lies in a pool of blood. We could only stand there in horrified silence. What was the rabbit doing here? Why did both of them die? They were our guides, our spiritual advisors. How in the world am I supposed to face spirits now? The mansion master key. While cleaning, Yasuoka finds the master key to the mansion. I guess the black rabbit had it for whatever reason. Regardless, he let us enter in the locked room. Inside, we discover that either Masamune or Muramase, former hands of the Kujo family, likely made Mary. But unfortunately, we found nothing on spirits or the marks, like we hoped. The red notebook. We found a false-smelling notebook in the underground shelter. I and Yasuoka say they smelled something similar when they were filming on Manhole Road. The notebook appears to be some teacher's diary, and the legible parts are indescribably bizarre. Tomorrow I will die, and by the great Asura's abundant mercy I will be reborn as Miss Zu. Miss Zu, that was the nickname of a teacher who kept a lot of lab animals. The abandoned school that's become her lab could be H Elementary. The spirit who gave I and Yasuoka their marks on Manhole Road, and the woman in white, who was seen carrying a Buddha statue. If they were both Miss Zu, we need to find out who she is. We have to search H Elementary. Ever since we left, I has been humming and waving her hands in the passenger seat. She seems like she has no idea about what things we're going to see, and that worries me.
Oh, sorry. Am I distracting you from driving?
Not really. Are you trying to learn some choreography?
Yeah, it's so hard. Mind if I vent a little, Mr. Irisu?
She turns towards me hopefully. Am I getting some kind of insider scoop?
P was like, we're doing a new song and change the set list a week out. Oh, a set list is a list of the songs we perform at a show. So now we have to rush to learn the moves for this whole new song. I'm at the point, well, where I'm dancing even while eating. Isn't that horrible?
Oh, yeah, it is. About half of that flew over my head, but it's obvious that she's busy.
But I know what P is such in a rush. Idol groups need a lot of exposure during their debut to really make it bad. That's why P is so desperate to promote us everywhere.
But I lowers her voice.
For this to happen at such an important time. Next week is when we debut the new song.
We'll make it in time, won't we?
What do you mean? I mean, will everything get better by then? All this mark and spirit stuff? Well, no one knows. After all, there's no way to know if we'll live through to tomorrow. No one knows what will happen. But don't ever lose hope. The shining fist of justice will destroy the evil lurking in the dark. Right? Are those lyrics? It's from our debut song. That's our most popular one. It's okay, I'll do my best. If I lose here, then it would mean Love and Hero only singing lies. She gives an energetic bow to her invisible fans. The horns from her costume strike my forehead. Dead on. Oh. I'm so sorry. I and I have arrived at H Elementary. What? This place looks more haunted than I expected. We should have filmed here. So, what do? I explained about the last time I was here. Only a quick rundown, but it should be enough for her to understand. There isn't much left to investigate on the first floor. We need to check out the second floor. Okay, time to go up then. Alright, let's get going. Climb the stairs. We climb up the stairs to the second floor. I feel something soft squish under my heel. I quickly pick up my foot and shine my light down. The hallway is covered with poisonous snakes. Snakes? Don't shout! I slap my hand over I's mouth. We can't move forward. The only thing worse would be making noise and calling something here. It'll be fine if we leave quietly. I cautiously take a step backwards. Suddenly the snakes react to my bad. What the? The snakes flit their tongues in the air, trying to smell something. After a moment, they begin to leave. They disappear into the darkness of the hole before I can even blink. They vanish without a sound, all at once, as if they'd never been there to begin with. Huh? Why? I don't know. It looked like the snakes were sniffing my bag. That red notebook is inside. Maybe the smell made them think we were friends? Let's try going down the hallway. I haven't gone this way yet. Oh, yeah? Let's but do our best. Long desks and what look like sinks loom in the darkness of the classroom. This seems to be... Is this the science lab? Still... I grimaces. It really stinks in here. I feel like I'm gonna suffocate. It's an irritating stench that stings my eyes. The putrid smell fills the whole room, like a box of onions has gone rotten. Even so, it's not like we can just leave. Let's get this done quickly so we can move on. Opened the door and left the science lab.
It's a sturdy wooden cabinet. The cabinet door opens easily. The inside is completely full to bursting with something. I pull it out and discover that it's a garbage bag full of shredded paper. Got off as trash. Are you seriously planning on taking that with you? I mean, not that I care. When I lift up the bag, an unshredded wad of paper falls to the floor at my feet. I open it up and see several complete sentences. Guess they failed to destroy this section. Got fragment 1. It's a shelf packed with numerous chemicals. Getting closer, I see some large containers. I hear guess behind me. Hands, hair, ears, eyeballs. Body pieces that used to belong to a human are floating in liquid perfectly preserved. It can't be. There's no way that he used these as educational eyes. They're extremely fresh for being samples, probably because they were cut from a living body. But it doesn't seem like it's been that long since any of them were severed. Other than the jars with human body parts, the cabinet has several containers of chemicals. I know they're not alive anymore, but it takes a measure of courage to search body parts. I stick my hand inside, half closing my eyes, and feel around the shelf. Is something there? Well, yeah. I stop myself from voicing my frustration. I can't make Eye to do something like this. I searched the chemicals, formalin containers, unidentified samples, every nook and cranny. I found a few things I can use. A clear bottle with a liquid inside. It has a label with a chemical formula on it. A brown bottle that has an irritating smell. Its label is rotten and unreadable. And finally, a bottle wrapped in foil. It smells faintly of flowers, but it's likely just some kind of chemical as well. Got clear bottle, brown bottle, bottle wrapped in foil. Is that everything? Once I'm done looking around, I stand up. A vinyl bundle in the corner catches my eye. I pick it up and realize that it's a tightly wrapped bundle of clothes. A white coat stands out the most. Must be a lab coat. Got bundle of clothes. A white lab coat? Well, we are in a science lab. No big surprise to find one here. That rumor about the ghost in white? I and Yasuoka got their marks while filming a TV show about it at Kei Miyamachi. And all the other clothes along with the coat have been folded meticulously. Is it really just a coincidence? It's an elaborate anatomical model. I touch the outside of the model. It feels like it's made out of wood or resin. I can't really tell. There are materials used in science class. I grab one and flip through the pages. There are a ton of notes inside, scribbled in thin letters. It seems they are simple explanation for the students. I take out the last book, and when I look inside, a scrap of paper falls from in between the pages. Taking a closer look, I notice a huge tear in his mouth. It's making the mouth look bigger than it should. It's almost like an arm was forcibly shoved down it, and I couldn't handle the strain.
Huh? What? A broadcast?
Do you have any brains? A strange voice echoes over in the intercom. Do the test immediately. Table on the table. Static crackles before being cut off. Is she watching us from somewhere? She said something like table. Something might be on the desk. Let's take a look.